Yeah, I forgot where that was. No, I was there for Best of Show.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because I could have sworn it was a whole thing with Mandy Moore.
No, I was there to talk to Christopher Guest.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I wasn't Mandy Moore at the time. I forgot what that junket was about, but yeah, that was, yeah. So there, yeah, people see, this is what happens. I told you, there's a lot of history here, boy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we haven't even talked about wow, my favorite was when you did the interview with Mina Suvari and Thora Birch for American Beauty.
They were like giddy, man.
They were giddy. I mean, and watching, that was like one of those interviews you watch, and it almost made me feel uncomfortable because it was getting way intimate between the three of y'all. I was like, it was like watching two people who were like about to start making out. And it's like they kind of thing like, wow, I'm kind of modest. I feel like I should be turned away.
Yeah, American Beauty came out, and I was talking to Thora Birch and
Mina Suvari,
and yeah, it was. I don't know if they were drunk or what, but talking to them, I mean, even I felt uncomfortable because look, I ain't stupid. I knew it wasn't like next stop the hotel room and all that kind of shit.
You know what? Watching it looked like it was. But then, realistically, like there's a whole crew of people standing around.
Yeah. But they were just being like, I'd like crack a joke, and like I think it was Thora Birch. No, it was Mina Suvari who like laughed and like she put her head on my shoulder and shit.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, I was looking around and so people would know, like, see, I ain't doing that. My hands are right here, and I'm not touching anybody. Shit, these bitches doing this themselves. But it was a good interview. We were having a good time.
No, it was a great interview.
You know how I am, man. I go in there and I act stupid, and people just. It's like Colombo.
Yeah.
If kids, there's a show called Colombo. Now, the older fans there on the site know about Colombo. Colombo is a detective who went in, and he just kind of act goofy and dumb.
Yeah, he come in all rumpled, looking like a bum.
Yeah,
and act like he was dumb. He like, whoa, why are you doing this? And oh, I see. And just let people just walk themselves into a trap.
Well, he would come in. He probably wouldn't even like he wouldn't even act like he was talking about the case.
Yeah,
he'd come in and be like, I see that you got this baseball card here from 1956, and detective, could you please put that down? That's a very valuable antique. There, it's a collector's item. Oh, I'm sorry. Of course. I don't know what I was thinking of. I got my fingerprints all over it and everything. And
my wife is always saying that about me, that I just put my hands all over everything.
Yeah, and their guard would be down.
Yeah,
and they would just think that they were smarter than him. And now I'm not talking about these celebrities that we interview. We're not talking like that. But the people's guard would be down. They just say anything.
Right.
And that's kind of the approach I do with these interviews. Do the Colombo thing, go in, that kind of stupid and goofy, and people are like, all right, I'm going to have a good time too.
Yeah, it's worked for you every time.
And that's what these girls were doing. I mean, they were just having a good time. At the time, I think they were like 18.
Yeah, that was the thing. They were both so young at the time, especially Thora Birch.
Yeah, they were 18 and they were just happy to be in a movie. They probably young and happy to be just having a good time and they were just.
Now, have you noticed that like a lot of actresses are just really flirty? Like so much so like I don't know if that's what they're told. Like, hey, when you're not in a movie, you need to flirt with everybody to make them like you.
I think it's just, especially with actresses.
Yeah.
A lot of times you see older. First of all, you get guys who just you come in and be cool with them. They'll just be like buddies. You know?
Right.
But women come in, and I think first of all, if you're an actress, you crave attention.
True. And
some of that attention comes from flirting with guys. I mean, it's just like strippers, except that these are not strippers. These are actors with their clothes on.
Right.
But they feel like they have to do that with everybody. They're always on.
Yeah, always on, and always just super, super flirty. Like when we were like trying to develop that show we were going to do, thought we were going to do for Fox, and we were auditioning actresses. And when we start coming out to the finalists, I was just amazed by how flirty they were, like to the point to where they really, without saying it, made it seem like, hey, if you hire me, you're going to get some.
Yeah. No, it's like that all the time, man. I can't tell you how many times I run into that, and it's all an act. Sometimes they don't even know.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's true, man. We were going to do a Fox show.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm glad we did now.
Yeah, because I could. That was one where I could see it was a ripoff early on. You guys are excited. I'm like, y'all don't see that. This is not going to work out.
No. I knew it was a ripoff because we're not gonna mention the guy's name, but I think you and I even talked about it. Like, there's nothing in this that we can do.
Yeah,
and you remember because I wrote that letter.
Oh yeah, well yeah,
I wrote that email to the head of Fox at the time.
Yeah,
because I was pissed off, and I was just telling him I don't see how this is going to work, and he was pissed about it. Remember he took that email and he's like, I'm a fair man, and I don't even know why it would call for like this. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
I'm like, because you fucking, this is stupid, man, because you're trying to fucking rip us off. This makes no sense.
Yeah. And then to find out after the fact that, like, he really did plan to rip us off. Like, it wasn't even like put us in a deal that wasn't going to work in our favor. He was actually running a true scam on us.
Well, no,
trying to put us on a station that they were about to cancel.
That station stayed around for a little bit, did it?
And not for too much long, not for maybe 6 months longer. I mean, like, if we had actually sold some ads for some time, we'd have been on the hook to those people to, like, hey, I paid you for these ads on this show that's not on anymore. Where's my money back?
Yeah, people, here's the deal with this show. We were going to do this Fox show. And now here's how I knew that the show wouldn't work, because we just couldn't make it work. I mean, we did a pilot, and even after when we were doing the pilot, I was like, well, I don't know what we're going to do after this, because to do the show, it cost us like about $1,500 per episode, something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck we going to get $1,500 for every episode?
Right. It was either, hey, you could pay us $1,500, but then you sell and keep all the money from the ads you sell, or we could pay for it, but you won't get any money.
I was just like, I was like, okay, how about we just don't do shit at all?
Right.
I'll go about my way and you go yours.
But yeah, when we came down to the finalists for the actresses, I couldn't believe how flirty all of them were.
Yeah, we needed girls for the show because it was me and Leon, and then we needed
Cyrus also.
That's right. Yeah, he started out kind of small. We were gonna bring him in on a bigger role, but we felt like, okay, it's a bunch of guys. We need a female to actually, I don't know, win a female audience, to have broad appeal. I can't remember, but it was, we had all these girls come in, and they were just, I don't know, that's what they do, man. I guess they think like they bat their eyes at the person that's going to get them.
Oh, yeah. It was one of the girls I took with me to one of the movies just so she could watch and come and do a review. And she spent the whole time batting her eyes, doing the wiggle, putting her hand on my thigh. And at one point, I'm like, all right, this is beyond sending me signals. But I had to like stop her and go like, wait, aren't you married? Oh,
was it the chick from Star Search?
No, it wasn't her. It was the black girl.
I don't even remember that chick, man. Here come the jokes. Of course you wouldn't remember the black girl. No,
the chick from Star Search was the one who kept flirting with Cyrus and sitting in his lap and all kinds of shit.
And she was married.
Was she married too?
Yeah, she was married because she came in with her husband one day.
Oh, Jesus.
She came in. I forgot what we were doing. I think she came to give me her Star Search tape, which I still have. I feel bad.
That's right. I remember, because I remember she asked for it back.
She made a big deal about that, and I was like, I'll take care of it. And I moved, and I couldn't find it. And I said, I know I have it. Damn. And I feel terrible about it. I really do. But I looked the other day. It's right up there in the closet. Yeah, we had this girl who was on Star Search, and we were like, hey, that'd be great to put into our pilot episode. Yeah. She's like, but I need this back. It's my only copy. I really need it back. My mom had to mail it from Dallas, and I was like, oh, shit. And when I found it, I wanted to find her number, but I was too embarrassed to give it back at that point. I
can't remember her name anymore. No.
Her name's on the tape. I would love to send it back to her, but I'm afraid of the answer that's going to come back. You motherfucker, a lot of good it's going to do me now. You know how many jobs I could have had if I had that tape?
Man, really, you should track her down and send that back to her. You don't have to put your return address on it. Just send it.
She knows where I live.
She know. Oh, that's right. Never mind.
And her husband looks like a giant Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, motherfucker came in because he came in the house, and I was like, he just wasn't having it. I mean, and I don't blame him. It's like, who are these fuckers trying to scam my wife? And not that he knew about the station or anything. It's just kind of like, I better check this out. These are guys trying to bring my wife in, and she fucked up before. He's like, he's probably talking to her like, hey, honey, you remember that time I had to pick you up from that porn set because you thought it was an acting gig? Yeah, I'm coming on this one. No pun intended. So they when they came to the house, I opened the door and she came in, and I saw this big shadow behind her. I'm like, who the fuck is this? And this dude came in, and the only thing that kept him from just like being truly intimidating is that he looked like Jake Gyllenhaal in the face from Donnie Darko. Yeah, shaggy hair and everything. I was like, it was like I could at least probably kick this guy in the nuts and run.
It's like I ain't getting my ass kicked by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'd rather get my ass kicked by Frank the Rabbit than your ass right now. From Donnie Darko, I was like, fuck you, man. But yeah, so she came in and she gave me that tape, and maybe that's why I was scared to get it back, because I could see him looking at me like, yeah, get that tape back, motherfucker, but that guy wasn't that badass, but I was just amazed that she was married because she came in. She's like,
I didn't.
Like, this is my husband.
Her.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So it's just weird how they are that way. Like if anybody's ever met an actress and thought like, man, I think she liked me. Like, no. She liked you about as much as the waitress or the girl at the cashier at the grocery store.
Or the stripper at the strip club.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're acting. That's what they do.
Yeah.
That's why they call actresses. They're fucking with you. But, hey, you know what? Still made for some pretty cool interviews because I remember the interview that I did with, who's that chick? Long Live Rock and Roll.
Gina Gershon?
Gina Gershon.
Yeah, man. That was another one of those kind of interviews where it's like, oh my God, you guys have chemistry.
And it was fun. I mean, but you know something? That's the thing, because Porno Chris at the time, he was like, dude, she was waiting. She wanted to fuck you, man. She wanted to fuck you. And I was like, she's an actress, man. We were acting together. You know, because she said, because here's how the
funny thing about that was like,
and she put the interview on the
that's right,
on the DVD.
Yeah, but hers wasn't like a direct flirting. That's why it seemed so much more genuine than those others. Because usually the other time it's like it's so exaggerated in your face you can't help but avoid it.
Well, I'll tell you what happened with that. She said, and I think this is what happened, that she opened up and we just had a good time because I think she tried to catch me off guard with a question because she's like, hey, show me your dick.
Right. Because you were like asking about how old she was, like giving her a compliment, like, man, to be your age, you look fantastic. He's like, you don't ask a woman how old she is. What if I ask you how big your dick is?
And I was like, I'll show it to you.
Right.
Shit. And the thing is, that's the truth too. I might not do it on camera, but I was like, come on back here, shit. I'd be like that dude in Full Metal Jacket. I got 8 inches of Colorado black snake right here for you.
And that's when he was hauled off to jail.
Hey, wait a minute, what? Tubuku. Yeah, no, it was and she was cool, man. And I remember Carla at the time looking at it like, oh, this is a fucking train wreck. I was like, man, this is a fucking good interview.
Yeah, it was a great interview.
I was like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, and
I watched it several times. I thought it was awesome.
I was like really happy that she was being cool, and I had to tell Porno Chris, I was like, man, really? She's an actress. What do you think she's doing? She's playing a role right now. She knows how to improvise in front of a camera. I mean, some actresses don't, but she's good at it.
Yeah.
So get the fuck out. She don't want to fuck anybody. I mean, believe me, as much as I would love to think that and give myself credit for it, none of these.
I see you hanging, because she's like, hey, you got to come to my concert. Put him on the list. I see you hanging out there with a carnation in your lapel.
Looking like that kid that tried to hit a Megan Fox.
Yeah.
Throw that shit on stage. No, she did. She said, hey, you want to come to my show and see my show? I'll put you on the list. And she did. And I didn't even go to the show. So, I mean, yeah, I wasn't going to sit up there and be like, oh, boy. I'm walking out with a bow tie on and a little hat, little fedora. Hi, Gina Gershon, here I come. Just drowning myself in Axe body spray. Dipping myself in that shit. Yeah, man. No, it was. Yeah, people don't ever think that we are not on to what's happening. I mean, you'll see us do these interviews, and you'll hear us do these interviews, and we don't think anybody's flirting with us or anything like that. It's all a game. That's what actresses do. They fuck with your head. Oh, these goddamn women out here. Oh man, I know we said we'd had one more thing to talk about before we got on with it. Was that it? Was that just
before we get to the email?
Yeah.
Trying to think, we got any more stream of consciousness? I mean, we got more stories. We've forgotten more stories than anything.
Yeah,
because I always tell you, it's like, you know what, Corey, I don't always have a good time hanging out with you, but it's never boring. It's always interesting. Half the time it's fucked up. Something fucked up happens, but it's interesting. It's fun the next day thinking back to it.
Well, okay, I probably shouldn't ask this, but when was the last time we hung out that something fucked up happened?
Honestly, I'd rather not even say.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there's some stories of stuff with you where I just soon not even bring it up.
Really? That bad, huh?
Yeah.
Was it recent?
No, it was a while ago. I mean, I can't think of the last time something really, really off the wall happened with you. I mean, you know what? Our stories of the past few years have just been us hanging out and some random crazy person comes out of nowhere and starts talking to us. We get in some little adventure that way. It hasn't been anything big.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, I want to know now. I'll cut this off. Just give me a hint. I mean, we don't have to get into it because I'm probably embarrassed by it. But.
Yeah. It's one of those things. It's just better left. Not. You know what? I shouldn't even have hinted at it. Never mind.
Hey man, if I did it, I'm not gonna get mad about it. I just want to know. Let me cut this off. Okay. Let me say this. It was really bad, and there's a few times that have gone by where I actually sat down and I said, thank you, Leon, for being there, because that could have ended really bad. Yeah. You said I could have gone to I could.
Yeah. Just, it's not even worth bringing up.
So you know what? I'll go ahead and say it.
No.
You should, because to me, I'm not that person anymore, man. I'm not. I know I have a temper, but this was years ago.
Yeah.
There was one night I was drunk. Some guy pushed me, and I was ready to go. I probably would have gone to jail that night for assault and battery because I picked up a bottle and I was ready to head towards that guy. Or else I would have got my ass kicked by several doormen.
Dude, you know what? I can see there's like a lot of details of this story you probably don't even remember. Like that would make it worse. So
really?
Yeah. So let's just move on to something else.
Okay. Yeah. All right. People, that was years ago.
Yeah, that was.
I've kind of mellowed out.
No, you've mellowed out quite a bit.
I tell you, having the responsibility of this fucking website has probably put things in perspective for me. I think okay, maybe not much.
It's funny. I do think about it at time. I think we were still doing the WB show at this time. We might have been, because we were kind of famous. But you and I, we were looking on a Friday evening to hang out, and we go to the Apple Bar because we hadn't been there. And I say, let's check this place out. And we go in. It's kind of dead downstairs. We go upstairs. There's a party going on. Some kind of mixer.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, and we're up there, and I'm looking around, and it's all dudes. I'm like, oh man, this is a gay mixer. You know what? We should probably leave. And it wasn't even like out of homophobia. It's just like, this is a thing for like single guys to meet other single guys. And as we were not there to meet other single guys, we were kind of false advertising. And I'm like, I think we should leave. And you're like, well, hey man, the food is free. Let's get something to eat. And I'm like, dude, okay, listen, now that people kind of know us and we're on TV a lot, you got to imagine there's some people who can't wait to get on the internet, on the phone, and tell everybody they saw us come in together like a couple. Can we please, let's get the hell on out of here.
Yeah, that buffet was blinding me, man. I didn't even think about that part. I was like, hey man, fuck it, I'm gonna eat. I can party with anybody. Don't tell me like sucking a dick. I'm just here to eat.
Yeah, and to me, it's just one of these things where I'm
like, the picture's taken and you and I look straight at the camera, and it'd be one of those moments where I'm like patting you on the shoulder, like, man, I'm glad you hung out tonight. People like looking at you and I arm in arm.
Yeah. I mean, just seeing, like they're gonna be like, you won't believe who just came in here. I told you about those two.
Yeah, especially with that reputation I had at the time. I was like,
yeah, that was before your womanizing reputation had completely kicked in to erase the is he or is he not gay reputation.
Oh yeah, no, that reputation that got around to, because there were people hitting on me who thought that shit was true, and we told those stories before.
Right, and then they did ask you to host some kind of like gay awards. Yeah,
the Austin Gay Film, some sort of award ceremony.
Right.
And it wasn't even because I was gay. They didn't even think that. It was they said, we need a personality to do this. They said Corey Coleman does his access show. He's comfortable in front of an audience. You should just do it. And it was the woman Christian at the Dobie who knew I wasn't gay.
Yeah.
She just said, would you be willing to do this? I'll pass your name along. I was like, sure, why not? And and there wasn't a lot of heavy fallout after that. I met an ex-girlfriend of mine at that function too, Erica.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, she came there with a friend of mine, and first thing I told her was, I'm not gay now, right? But they even got in the door. I was just like, I'll be talking to you later tonight. So. Oh man, shit, boy, you brought back some memories, man. I'm glad you sat in, good and bad. Oh man, shit. That music's playing, boy.
What does that mean?
It's email time.
Email time.
I'm not gonna ask you to sing it. I'm just gonna let it play right now because I know you don't know the words to this. But we just let it play on out. Let it get the groove on. Look, Ghost over there doing a little tap dance while it's going on. Usually we sing it out loud, but I'm not gonna do that too.
I'm a few bars. Maybe I can pick it up.
Okay, it's over with now.
All right. Damn.
We got a lot of email here. That's why I was asking if you want to do like an all email show, but I'm glad we didn't though, because I had a good time talking about all this shit tonight. Now let's see. We'll start out with our first email here, which comes from I can't even read this person's name. Let me Beak out Menace. Book out Menace. Can you see that shit? Look at that. Book out Menace. BIKOUT Menace. Book out.
Is it BIK or BLK, like blackout?
Right. So anyway, yeah, it is. I'm sorry. I'm screen's kind of far away from me. Yeah, Blackout Menace. All right. I'm not going to even go into what's up, Corin, the king of all robots, because you are obviously not a robot. Or are you? Let's see here. They said, the other day I was watching Kevin Smith's movie, Chasing Amy, and it reminded me of that homeless chick you had a crush on a while back. After watching it, it reminded me how good that movie was. Why does that remind you of a homeless chick? All right. Anyway,
I don't get that.
Yeah. Okay. Damn. That's a long stretch.
Maybe it was a different Chasing Amy that he saw.
Casing Amy.
Right.
I've almost seen all of Kevin Smith's movies, Clerks 1 and 2, Dogma, blah, blah, blah. And I laugh my ass off each time I see them. My question is, what do you think about Kevin Smith's movies and his writing style? I am not the fanatical Kevin Smith fan that a lot of people are. A lot of people have just accepted that Kevin Smith has his own style, and everybody loves it. I like Chasing Amy. Chasing Amy is very fun, very well done. I think that's his strongest, well-written movie. And I like Clerks, even though I think still Chasing Amy is his best movie. But everything else, man, to me is just weak.
I have to completely agree with you.
Oh, I was like, wait a minute.
No. I mean, to me, like Clerks was one of those movies, back in the early days of independent films. That was like that movie that you tell people, hey, you got to watch this. And they first start watching, it's black and white, it's real cheap, but then it's written so well. It's funny. It catches you by surprise. Mallrats, real letdown. I was actually shocked by how bad that movie was. And then Chasing Amy, he really made up for it. And the thing is, it's funny. We talked about all the great interviews you've done. The only one I could say that was a clunker was Kevin Smith. Like that, you know what? That was like 10 years ago. I'm still pissed at that fat ass when the way he just gave such a shitty interview to us, and then gave a great interview to the guys who came right after us.
Yeah, he was tired, and I think this is the first time I met the people at Reinhardt Marketing.
Yeah,
who love when we do interviews now. Whenever I come in, they say, "Now this is the guy we wanted you to talk to," but at the time. Greg Reinhardt, his wife, Cindy Reinhardt, they've both been very nice to us over the years. But the first time Greg met me and he heard me talking to Kevin Smith, he didn't know how I was, what kind of questions I asked or anything.
Yeah.
And I think he kind of influenced that interview that way because he's behind me just kind of pacing and making faces like, oh, what? And I think Kevin Smith kind of saw that. And that combined with being tired, he was just kind of like, who the fuck is this guy? Even when the interview was over, I don't know if you remember, but Greg Reinhardt came up to me and he's like, what the fuck were you doing? I was like, what did I do so bad?
Right.
I didn't do an interview like you used to hearing. I mean, I don't know. And, so yeah, but afterwards he gave that real open, great interview to I think it was
a show with no name.
Yeah. I like those guys.
No, I like those guys too. I ain't got nothing against them. It's just, I was just mad at him. I'm like, watch him be completely open and joking around with him. But then for you, he just looking all like he was confused and put out. And didn't want to be there. And it's like, yeah, you say he was tired, but it was like, it was early. It was his first one. It'd be different if it was like he'd done a bunch of them and we came in later in the day.
Yeah.
It was his first one. It's like, shit, man, wake your ass up.
Yeah. And I'm just
you want to promote this movie or not? And the thing was, it was for Chasing Amy, which I liked a lot. I agree with you. It's my favorite one. And the funny thing to me was when he premiered that movie, he spoke before it. The last thing he said was like, this is my apology for Mallrats.
Yes, he did.
And now he has since gone back and gone like, now he's feeling his oats. He's like, well, actually Mallrats is my favorite movie. And it's like, that's not what you said.
No,
back
not
then.
at the time. In fact, there was an article that said that he was sitting in a room, and this is exaggerated, but he was sitting in a room with a review of Mallrats in one hand and a gun in the other. And I even brought that up in the interview. And I'm just thinking, man, you made fucking Mallrats. How you gonna be offended by anything I ask you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You made a movie where a guy stuck his hand up his ass and fed people chocolates and people threw up after eating them.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck, man?
But yeah, everything else he's done, I mean, it's all like, okay, it's gonna all take place in the same part of town. It's the same type of humor, and then it feeds on itself. Like by the time he does Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and it's like, Silent Bob is completely, himself. He's mugging at the camera, which he didn't really do in Clerks. And it's just so much of what he does panders to his hardcore fans over and over. There's not a lot of depth to it. It's really like he doesn't really have that much to say.
Well, to me, this is why I'm not crazy about it. I don't have anything against gross or abrasive humor, but it seems like it's trying too hard, as you say, to appeal to his fans.
Yeah.
Some of the gross out humor, maybe that's his humor, but it just seems to me like you're just piling it on because you're trying to get a reaction out of people. Just give me a stronger story. I don't really need to, like with Zack and Miri Make a Porno. There's a big part in the movie where the unclogging scene where some girl's getting, having anal sex and the guy pulls out and shit falls all over the floor. And I'm just like, I'll remember that, but not in a good way.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, I don't know. And then when he's not doing that, it seems like with something like Jersey Girl, there's not much to say at all.
Yeah, it's just like, for him to have been in the business for so long as a filmmaker, he hasn't really grown any.
No, not at all. But I will say this. I think that in every one of his movies, there's always one thing, at least one thing that's going to make me laugh really hard. And a lot of times it's said by that guy, Jason Mewes. I like that character. I think that character has become more of an act than it was before, because I kind of took like, even if this guy isn't genuine,
yeah,
I feel like he is.
Yeah.
But the more it came along, it kind of seemed like he was doing an act.
Sure.
But
shtick.
A shtick. Yeah. Like in Jersey Girl, I really don't like that movie at all. I think that movie is well, I don't want to go too harsh on it because I didn't hate the film. I was just like, wow, this movie is bland. I don't know why I couldn't say that. Yeah, it's so bland. But there was that one scene in there with Will Smith where he was having that speech with Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, this is something.
Well, he's got something. Much as I don't like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, that one small scene where they run into Scooby-Doo and the kids.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was better than all those Scooby-Doo movies.
Yeah, that was actually pretty funny. And I like the end of it, too, where they go around like punching people out that they found on the internet who were talking about them.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, that was kind of funny to me, too. But in every movie, and here's the other thing, Star Wars references.
Enough already.
They've been done over and over and over again. We know you're a Star Wars fan now, man. Okay, we got it. You don't have to make a Star Wars joke in every movie. And I don't like the fans of Kevin Smith movies because they'll just flat out tell you, like, yeah, I don't care if it's good or not. I like Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
And the thing that made me even angry is that a lot of critics, if it wasn't Kevin Smith, a lot of critics would just be like, oh, this over raunchy comedy that this guy's doing is so grotesque and has nothing to say. But because it's Kevin Smith and he became an indie darling with Clerks,
yeah,
critics love him too. Somehow, I don't know what it is. He became like this cool filmmaker because he busted out with his own feature film that he did on his own, which I give him a lot of credit for.
No, you got to give him credit for that.
But the thing that let me know that critics were just feeding off each other, loving this guy, is when Clerks 2 came out, which, if you ask me, is a terrible movie.
Yeah, I started watching on HBO and I couldn't get past 15 minutes of it.
Yeah, now that's just me. Maybe the fans see something I don't see, but I started reading reviews about it on Rotten Tomatoes, and every other review was using this word, scabrous. This is a scabrous comedy. And you saw it in every other review, and I'm like, okay, this is something that was either in the press notes or they heard Kevin Smith say, because it's a coincidence when two people use it. It's a stretch of a coincidence when two people use that word.
Yeah.
To have 5 or 6 people use it, it's like, okay, there's some shenanigans going on with this shit. But hey, look, Kevin Smith fans, what am I going to say? If you enjoy his movies,
you already,
I'm just not one.
All we can do is piss you off at this point.
Yeah, I'm just not one of them. Let's see. We'll try to pass through 2 or 3 more and then we'll be done. We'll try to get through them fast. All right.
Lightning round.
What do you think, in your opinion, is the best actor to play the Riddler in the new Dark Knight movie if they use that villain? They're not using that villain.
Yeah, and the Riddler's lame.
This guy picks one. Okay, let's just say they do.
Okay.
He says,
sure.
My pick will be Lost star Michael Emerson. Michael Emerson. Who is it? Which one?
Oh, he's Ben Linus. Are you caught up on Lost?
I have not since the 2nd season.
Oh,
but Ben Linus, he's the short guy with the glasses, right?
Yeah. He doesn't wear them anymore.
The one over the
The others.
The one who he's
Yeah. I mean, he's diabolical. I mean, that guy, like the Ben Linus he plays on Lost, he has become like almost one of my favorite villain of all time. Cause he's so great in that role. And I guess he could be, the Riddler if the Riddler is like Ben Linus. But I don't know.
I don't know what that character's like. I mean, I just don't. I mean, he could. Who knows?
I mean, that's one of those like, sure he could, but who cares?
Now, hey, you know what? I will answer that question because that's kind of cool. Because I did say if they want to do a Riddler, I'm trying to find a guy who played Doctor Who in the last season. Oh man, David Tennant.
Oh, okay.
David Tennant. I think his name was thrown about as being a Riddler, and I'm looking at the guy, and I'm like, I can see that. Now you've seen that Doctor Who right there, right?
Yeah. Well, hell, Batman is British, so why not?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, shit, half these fucking actors out there are British, man. For some reason, we cannot get that British accent. They can do English accents well, or American accents well.
Yeah.
But we try to do English or British accent, we fuck that up like anything. We cannot do it.
It's like only
best actors.
Yeah, there's only like two people who can really pull it off. Gwyneth Paltrow and Claire Danes, and that's about it.
Yeah, shit. I even saw the other night. I saw Blood Diamond on TV, and they had. What's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio trying to do a Kiwi.
Well, he was South African.
Yeah, was he South African?
Yeah.
Okay, see, even that was over the top, man. I was like, I can't buy this. And he's a great actor. We even said at the time, was like, hey, the accent is bad, but that character was, he played that character well.
Yeah, he did.
Let's see.
That kid has some chops.
Yeah. All right. That's a wire from my phone. Leon's trying to tell me, man, don't be fucking up. Don't tell me we lost this whole podcast. We got to start over, man. Okay, let's see. I'm going to try and find somebody who we haven't ever answered a question from. Alicia. I don't think we've asked
Mr. Flesh Eater, why do you guys suck so bad?
No offense.
No offense, but why do you suck? Well, let me tell you.
Hey, I want to ask you if you prefer books to be turned into movies or TV shows. If I had to choose between the two, I prefer a TV show because I feel it gives the screenwriters and producers more time to develop the characters in the story. And with the movie, you only have 2 to 3 hours to do so. Okay, so what this person is asking is, do you prefer movies to be? I'm sorry.
I understand what they're asking.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if I read it wrong or not.
No. They're saying, do you prefer books to be turned into movies or TV shows to be turned into movies? And while their argument is that it gives them, the opportunity to